Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, and well, anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and listen, if you're on the internet and you were looking for something in particular, like, midget porn or something, and you came across my podcast by mistake, listen, if you're not a movie fan, maybe I can convince you to be one. And so this week's episode, guys, episode 82. Isn't that crazy? Like, I started this podcast almost 2 years ago, and I never thought I'd make it this far. And my guest is looking at me like, why and how in the hell did you make it this far? So speaking of that, I do have a guest today, and we're going to be going over a bunch of movie news, trailers that came out, and we're going to be reviewing Jurassic World. He didn't really care for it. I liked it a lot, so we're going to battle this shit out. So my guest is Cary Darling, and he is the entertainment writer for the Star Telegram, based here in Fort Worth, Texas at dfw.com. Cary, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So go ahead and tell the kids at home and people who are listening, because this is the first time they're hearing you, what you do and how we met.
We met at a screening of Me and Earl and the Dying Girl in Plano, Texas. I don't know, a few months ago.
It was that, ladies and gentlemen, which is very ironic because that movie actually just came out this Friday worldwide, right? Or
it comes out. Well, here it comes out next Friday, the 19th.
So that just shows you right there. I don't know my facts. So,
but I think it opened in other markets already.
Okay, so yeah, I was because I was reading up and like it definitely hit up on June 12th. But yeah, go ahead and tell people what you do.
I write about movies and lots of other things, so entertainment and pop culture for the Fort Worth Star Telegram and DFW.com. Been writing for many years. Was at the Miami Herald in Florida and Orange County Register in California before that. So that's the thumbnail version.
Yeah, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, listen. I've been doing this shit free for 2+ years. This is my first guest that actually gets paid to write about movies and basically, punch them where the sun don't shine if it sucks. So, I have a lot of respect for you. So, there was a lot of news that came out. So let's go and jump into this, guys. There's a lot of news that came out. I gave Cary the list before he came over here. I should mention that. He's actually one of the first guests ever, besides my 2 ex-girlfriends, to actually be in the same room as me recording. So it's better audio, because usually I have guests over Skype and stuff. So I had to basically say that. And you're probably wondering, why did he come over? Well, I blackmailed him. I saw him going into a video rental store, and I saw him renting Baby Geniuses. And, he didn't really appreciate that I caught him with video, and so I basically blackmailed him to come in. Is that the truth?
No, but I like the story, though.
It's definitely the truth, and he's lying to you. So, all right, so...
the Baby Genius revisionist.
Gross. Listen, that was the last time I'm ever going to mention that fucking movie on this podcast. So Cary, I gave you the list of stuff that we're going to talk about. So, what would you like to talk about first in the news section?
Whatever. James Cameron's good. Whatever.
Okay. So, Terminator Genisys, which is how I pronounce it because it sounds like someone was writing the title out and they came in their pants. So, Genisys is coming out in a couple weeks. It's the 5th Terminator film. First of all, let me go and ask you, are you a huge fan of the Terminator franchise?
I do. I mean, I love the original, of course, and the others have been sort of hit and miss, but in general, I liked it. Yeah.
Would you say that number 2 is the best out of all of them?
Terminator 2 is it's good, probably. Yeah, I mean, I love the first one, too.
Oh, come on, yeah. And just to let you know, Cary doesn't have to tell you his age, but there's a huge age difference here, so we're going to have a lot of different opinions. I'm just going to let you guys know that right now. So, but no, I actually like number 2 the best. Judgment Day is without a doubt one of the most kick-ass action films of all time.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what's really interesting is a lot of people, they like 1 over 2. And I listen, I like both of them. And who did both of them? James motherfucking Cameron. Who's this guy? The guy that holds the 2 spots of the highest grossing movies of all time, Titanic and Avatar. This guy knows his shit. So, Terminator Genisys. Have you liked the trailers and the marketing so far that have come out for it?
I mean, I'm not. They didn't blow me away, but I'm still intrigued by it.
I'm not a huge fan of the trailer so far, and I think the second trailer. I don't listen. Guys. Cary, have you seen the movie? Can you talk about it?
What, Genesis?
Yeah.
No, I've not seen it yet.
Okay. I have not seen it either. But the trailer gives away something pretty big. Can we assume that it's probably going to happen at the beginning of the movie? And maybe they have more surprises coming? Or do you think that's the biggest twist of the entire film?
Nah, I would think they wouldn't give that away in the trailer.
Exactly. But that still kind of pisses me off that it's like, you know, there's that twist. Listen, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. If you want to stay away from the trailers, that's actually probably best for you. So why are we bringing this up? How is James Cameron involved with the Terminator Genesis? Well, there was a new promo that came out for Genesis, and we have James Cameron, who looks like he is at gunpoint, and he's basically saying, yeah, Genesis is the true sequel after number 2. And he has this whole speech on how it's like super awesome and stuff, and he said, there's something that you'll never see coming. It's almost like he was paid under the table to say this shit, and I don't know if I can trust him. But with this new promo out, does it hype you up even more to see it?
I'm definitely intrigued by it, you know.
Do you think James Cameron was paid off pretty well to do this?
I don't know if he was paid. He doesn't need any more money than he already has.
He's a pretty quiet guy, though. Like, I mean, come on. Most of his movies are you know, they take super long to make. He's almost like a fucking hermit somewhere in Colorado somewhere. Like, we have no idea where this guy's at. So you're telling me that Universal called him up, dragged his ass out, and said, let's shoot a promo for Genesis without a little bit of negotiating. There's no way.
Yeah, but I think Terminator is something that's close to him, though.
True. I don't know. If you guys watch the trailer, James Cameron does like say that Genesis is going to throw a curveball at you. It's going to be something different in the series, but something really great at the same time. And I got to be honest, I was not a fan of the Genesis trailers, but him saying that, even though if it is fake, he's convinced me. So, you know, maybe James Cameron was like that push I needed to see Genesis.
Well, you were going to see it anyway.
No, I really don't. And my roommate is actually across the hall, and if he can hear me, he actually wants to see Genesis more than me. I don't really want to, but this promo makes me want to. So the next piece of news, Ghostbusters. Cary, you a fan of Ghostbusters?
Yeah, I like the original Ghostbusters, yeah.
Okay, so when the news broke that they're going to do an all-female cast with director Paul Feig, director of Bridesmaids, The Heat, and the most recent one, Spy, I mean, what do you think about that whole thing? What do you like the casting? I
like the casting, especially with Paul doing it. I mean, I think he works with female stars very well, so it should be pretty good, I think.
Okay, so do you like the female cast in it?
Yes, I do.
Like McCarthy, Wiggs in it. We have Kate McKinnon, who does the best Justin Bieber impression on SNL, period. And then we have...
And the best Hillary Clinton impersonation.
Exactly. She's killer, and I can't wait to see her in a film. And, of course, Leslie Jones. So, they added a new cast member, Chris Hemsworth. He's going to be playing the receptionist in Ghostbusters. Basically, the what Melissa McCarthy was in Spy. Kind of the earpiece to the whole situation. What do you think about that? What do you think about Chris going into more comedies now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a fun kind of wink to the audience because Chris Hemsworth is this kind of beefcakey kind of guy, and he's going to be the receptionist. Whereas in the usual male sort of hero movie, you know, you obviously usually have a female sort of receptionist. So I think it's kind of a fun little twist.
Okay. Okay. So with that being said, what did you think of the Vacation trailer with Hemsworth basically, you know, showing off his dong?
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that?
No.
Okay, so basically, Cary's looking at me like I'm either fucking crazy or like I just made up this weird scenario where Chris Hemsworth shows his dong. No, like he's in the Vacation trailer and like they get to a scene and like, you know, he's like the oiled up like strong guy. He comes in with these boxer briefs. He's got this like python down his pants and like he's just sitting there and like these Captain Morgan poses and shit. It's kind of funny, but I think it's interesting. And the reason why I asked it is because, you know, it's like Vacation. Now it's Ghostbusters. It's like, will Chris Hemsworth find his stride in comedy after his Marvel movies, do you think?
Black Hat.
I didn't see Black Hat, so was it awful?
It was pretty terrible.
Whoops. I know a lot of people on my Facebook friends list that love that movie. So, I mean, I guess, you know, movies that like Black Hat don't work. I actually liked Rush. Did you like Rush?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So I think Hemsworth can do drama really well, and I think he can do comedy well, but him under Feig's direction, I think is great, because look at Spy. Spy was not the funniest movie in the world, but I like Jason Statham. He was funny as hell in that movie. So I think with under Feig's direction, I think Chris Hemsworth can definitely pull it off. So I'm willing to see Chris Hemsworth pull some funnies. So that is that for that piece of news. Next piece of news, Tomorrowland. Cary, did you like the movie?
I had mixed feelings about Tomorrowland. I thought it looked good, but I thought the story fell apart. And I'm not surprised it didn't do well, because I don't think it really found an audience. It didn't know really what it wanted to be.
And with our age gap, ladies and gentlemen, we actually agree on something. I thought it was okay. I thought the visuals were good, but the message was like literally just punching you in the dick so many times, saying, "This is our message. This is our message. Please accept us." It's like, we get it, Brad Bird and Damon Lindelof. So it's a very expensive movie. I think it was like $180 million budget.
Something like that. Yeah.
So it's like $360 to break even. Disney is expected to lose $140 million. Now, with that being said, what do you think the state is for original ideas from Disney? Because think about it. John Carter, that was adapted from a book, but that tanked. Lone Ranger, adapted from old radio shows and stuff, tanked. This is based off of their theme park ride. Granted, it still counts as an original, but it's also tanking. So, with this being their third loss in, holy shit, 3 years, do you think Disney's going to take another leap on like a really expensive original movie?
You mean non-Pixar movie, you mean?
Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel, basically everything they own. So, original Disney, live action.
I mean, I think they'll still do it, but I think they're going to be more careful from now on, probably.
I think you're right. I think this was the last straw. Like, there's no way. Like, how do you bomb 3 movies in 3 years like that and lose hundreds of millions of dollars? And everyone's probably thinking, oh no, Disney just lost a lot of money. Everyone, breaking news, they own Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, Disney Animation. They are doing just fine. Losing money on Tomorrowland does not mean shit. Look at Avengers 2, $1.5 billion, and that came out this year. Look at Cinderella. That made, I think, $500 million worldwide. They're doing just fine. But with it losing that much money, it is kind of a red flag. And if they are going to make any more original projects. Now listen, they were rumored to make a Tron 3. It was not a legit story. Disney did not come out of their woodworks and say that's happening. That was just a rumor. But with the whole Tomorrowland thing happening, I think Tron 3 is dead. That thing is done. And it's kind of scary because like they probably won't make any more original live action stuff for a very long time and stuff. So it kind of makes me worried, but it's fucking Disney. They own everything. So don't feel so sorry for them, ladies and gentlemen. So that's that piece of news. The next piece of news is that Brad Pitt, good-looking actor, he's a great actor. He pretty much is like the older version of Tom Cruise and didn't really age well. He looks like a lesbian now. So he has a deal with Netflix. Interesting. And what's that deal, you may ask? He's actually going to participate in a full-length movie, just kind of like what Adam Sandler's doing with his Netflix deal. And Netflix is actually going to release it simultaneously on Netflix and in theaters. They're basically the production company and the distribution company. What do you think about that?
I think it's going to change the game for distribution.
Yeah, it will.
And if I were a theater owner, I'd be probably pretty nervous about that.
You should be really fucking worried, theaters, because seriously, like, if you're the production house and the distribution house, like, I don't know how that's going to work. Like, does Netflix and theaters still do the percentage and the cuts and stuff? Like, how is that going to work? Like, I don't... And if it's a huge hit on Netflix, and, like, if people actually do go out to see it in theaters, which makes no sense if you have a Netflix account, you're right, man. This is going to change everything. Like, I'm actually really curious to see how well it does.
Yeah.
If it does well... I actually did the numbers on this. I don't know if you know this. I'm actually going to do it here live on this show. I'm going to pull out my calculator. I'm going to have Cary guess this. What's the... you have a Netflix account, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everyone does. That's a stupid question. What's the monthly price for it? It's like $8.99,
Something
you would
like
say?
that, yeah.
Okay. How many subscribers do you think they have?
Just in the United States?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. 10 million? I have no idea.
It's 66 million.
Oh.
So, How much money a month do you think they make just on subscriber fees?
Well, 8, 9 times 66 million.
But you can't do that in your head, so just take a wild guess.
You're going to tell me.
Yeah. They make, on subscriber fee alone, $593 million. That's a shit ton of money just from us. Who knows what they get from advertisers? We have no idea. They could practically run their own production and distribution company with just our fucking fees. So it's incredible how much money Netflix makes. So with them moving on to producing and distributing movies and stuff, it's really fascinating. And the movie it's coming out with is called War Machine. I don't know what the fuck it's about, but we're more interested in like just Netflix doing this because Cary, do you watch a lot of shows on Netflix that they produce?
I watch some, yeah, and Hulu as well. But I think this is different just because it's such a much bigger name. So I think it's people who don't have Netflix, I think, are going to sign up because of this.
Would you say that Netflix produces really high quality TV shows that are like equivalent to movies?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh hell yeah! Like one of my favorites is House of Cards. Have you watched House of Cards? It's fucking awesome. You want to watch Kevin Spacey lose his shit? It's amazing. But if you watch those shows, like they have such a HBO Showtime quality to them, where you're just like, this is the state of television, folks. One of my favorite TV shows of all time, Breaking Bad, that's literally like a however many episode long movie. Look at True Detective. 8 episodes, perfect. It's like an 8-hour movie. The state of TV right now is so high quality, it's almost putting the movies to shame. And just with Netflix moving on to full-length features now, signing Adam Sandler, Brad Pitt, Netflix, you're going to run the fucking world. You and Disney are going to go head-to-head one day, and it's going to be glorious. I can't wait for that. So if you guys are a fan of Netflix, Brad Pitt, or lesbian Brad Pitt, and you're a fan of movies, I think this is good. And if you don't have a Netflix account, what are you doing with your life? Seriously. House of Cards, a really popular one is Orange is the New Black. Newsflash, I didn't really get into it. So, but there's a lot more TV shows than Netflix produces. Like, seriously, I think they produce, like 2 or 3 a month. It's insane. So, get on Netflix and let's watch the industry change because it's going to be fucking awesome. So, that's it for the news today, guys. It's kind of a lame news week. It kind of sucks balls. But, the news is not... It's not really like the thing you guys are here for. It's mainly the trailers and the reviews, but you still want some interesting news. I apologize. Hollywood just didn't shit out some gold bricks. They shit out actual shit. So, the trailers, we're going to move on to that. So, the trailers that came out this week, there was a lot of them. And I'm actually curious, Cary, did you watch all these in preparation?
Actually, I did not watch all of them.
Okay, so I hate Cary now. So, I have to pretty much describe all these to him. So, let's go ahead and talk about... Okay, so let's play that game. Let me pitch these trailers to you and see if I have sold you.
Okay.
So, let's start with The Martian. Ridley Scott, we have Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain, Kate Mara, Jeff Daniels, Kristen Wiig. It is a stacked cast. Yeah. Are you a fan of Ridley Scott?
In general, yes. Not everything he's done.
Would you say as of late he's kind of fallen off the horse?
Definitely.
Did you like The Counselor?
One of my least favorite films of the last decade, probably.
We have agreed on something else, ladies and gentlemen. I have a lot of friends that actually really like that movie.
Yeah, I know there are people who like it.
Yeah, I have a question. Why? The movie's awful. It's like watching an ADHD person make a movie. It's like there's something happens, and then they jump to something else, and there's no fluidity throughout the entire thing. Hey, Cormac McCarthy, I have a fucking idea for you. Listen. I like some of your adaptations. I like No Country for Old Men. I love The Road. You should not be writing screenplays, okay? Stick to your novels and have someone else adapt it. Listen, but I'm not saying that doesn't work for some people. Look at Gillian Flynn from The Gone Girl. She wrote the book and the screenplay. I thought the screenplay was great. So, Cormac McCarthy, you're old. You can't write. So,
but it did have sex on a windshield. You don't see that every day.
And once again, ADHD. Seriously, that scene was... Let's all face it, it was kind of hot. But so if you have a windshield fetish, this movie's for you. But it was so ridiculous. It kind of made me lose faith in Ridley Scott a little bit. So let me ask you this: did you like Prometheus?
I was not a big fan of Prometheus, but I liked it better than The Counselor.
I actually love Prometheus, and I think it's got some good stuff to it. So I actually really like that one. I hated The Counselor, but The Martian.
Now this I'm interested in.
It looks, because you know a lot about it, and so do I. But the trailer, let me go ahead and tell you if I liked it or not. I liked it, except for the contingency that it was 3.5 minutes long. It spoiled too much. What are you doing, 20th Century Fox? Seriously, me and Cary are going to see this movie. Why on earth do you need to shove a 3.5 minute trailer and show everything beat by beat? It's dumb. But the way it looks, cinematography-wise, acting-wise, this thing is going to deliver. But then again, we said the same thing about The Council. We're just like, Michael Fassbender, Ridley Scott, Cameron Diaz, and all this stuff. It's going to be great. No, it wasn't great. I wanted to go cry afterwards. So,
not during?
Well, I was crying during. And you know what's really interesting? The person I took, when the movie was over, we literally turned to each other, and I was like, do you know what the fuck happened or what that was about? And he was like, no, I really don't, man. And so I was like, this is going to be really interesting to review. So I basically slammed it, and it was definitely one of my least favorites. So it was awful. But The Martian looks really good, though.
It does look good.
It looks amazing, but I really hate the fact that it was a 3.5 minute trailer. Why are we doing this? Like, are you a fan of trailers that like are super long and give away too much?
No, I'd rather have less than more.
Like, Cary's an old human being.
You keep bringing this up.
Well, it's interesting because of our ideologies and stuff. So, like, back in the day, like, you remember growing up and stuff like
during the silent era. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the Great Depression. No, but seriously, like, weren't trailers back in the day like super short, sweet, and to the point?
Not all of them. In fact, like in the if you go back like on YouTube and look at really early trailers, like from the 50s and 60s, a lot of them were really, really long.
Yeah,
and it had those big voiceover, and you've never seen anything this big in history, that sort of thing. But then I think in the 70s and 80s, they moved to kind of a shorter format.
Yeah, and I kind of like those. Don't you like the mystery behind movies?
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
Hollywood, newsflash, we actually like when you don't show us much. So, it's a great trailer, just way too damn long. On the other hand, the next trailer we're going to talk about, Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, it's only a minute and a half teaser. I didn't get anything from the teaser. So, but I'm super excited because I actually like the whole franchise. Have you liked the previous three?
The last one I wasn't a big fan of because it seemed like it's just obviously a run-up to this movie.
Yeah. I think that was most everyone's problem. It was like, it was nothing but build-up, and number 2 is going to be nothing but payoff. It's kind of like with the Harry Potter franchise, but even though I like that franchise. So, this trailer, I'm pumped for it, but it didn't really give us much. It was kind of just a bunch of shots and people saying, like, we're going to take President Snow down. No shit. That was the whole thing throughout the entire franchise.
Yeah, but I think going back to The Martian, I think this works better because obviously everybody knows the Hunger Games by now. They don't need to sell the Hunger Games.
Exactly. It's kind of like with what was Amazing Spider-Man 2? Prime example. That thing was advertised for 7 months straight. Everyone was going to see it, and it turns out to be balls. Hunger Games, we know that it's a good franchise. Lionsgate, you don't need to show us everything. Or you don't need to, you don't even know to throw up a teaser. Throw a 2.5 minute trailer up, and you'll be fine. The only reason this trailer came out is because Jurassic World came out, and it played in front of it. So, I'm excited to see it. Unnecessary trailer, didn't really show us much. Of course, I always like watching Jennifer Lawrence in black spandex, so that's always a plus.
I mean, she's going to do a lot of fighting in this one, I assume.
Oh, I'm going to have to go clean myself up later. I'm sorry, that was disgusting. All right. Mom and Dad, if you're listening to this, I feel really embarrassed right now. After 82 episodes, I have not changed. So, the next trailer is Zootopia. Now, this is a Disney animated film, not Pixar, Disney animated, which is really weird. Cary, don't you find it weird that, Disney Animation and Pixar have, this competition going on? They're the same fucking company. I think it's really...
But they have different roots, though, so, I mean... Pixar has its own style and brand.
Yeah, whatever. It's owned by the same person. So basically they're competing against themselves, which is super narcissistic. But Zootopia, it's kind of like... have you heard about it?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Okay, so basically the trailer is just nothing but Jason Bateman's Fox character spouting out in front of a white background what this movie's about. saying this movie, no humans exist in this alternate universe. It's nothing but animals, and they've created society and stuff. And that's basically all we get. With that idea, are you pretty much interested in that?
I think it could be fun, yeah.
The trailer was kind of weird, because, like, I mean, I thought it was enjoyable and stuff, but it was just kind of weird how he just described everything. Maybe they didn't have a trailer in time for it and stuff. Once again, this trailer was made for Inside Out next week, so, like, I know when these trailers are made and stuff, so...
I mean, I think it's, it's obviously a teaser trailer. We're going to get a lot more trailers before it's actually released, so I wouldn't put too much stock in it. And
I think that's the one thing you should take away from this, folks. Like, you shouldn't bitch about teasers, which... I am a hypocrite because I just bitched about the Mockingjay one, but at the same time, just give a little something more, I guess, but you're right. It's a teaser, we shouldn't really judge it, but Zootopia looks like it could be like a fun, nice little animated movie, because wasn't Frozen the last Disney animated movie in 2013?
I think so.
Wow, so it's been a couple years. So yeah, Zootopia, Jason Bateman playing a fox, why the fuck not? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Is Jason Bateman going to play a fox? Why the fuck not? So the next trailer is Regression. Have you heard about this one?
Yes, but this trailer I haven't seen.
Okay. It stars Ethan Hawke, Emma Watson. She's my bae. Listen, Emma Watson, if you're listening to this, if you are in a warehouse somewhere and someone gave you a choice, like, do you want to have your arms chopped off or you want to listen to this shitty podcast, and you chose this podcast accidentally, listen. If you ever want to come on my podcast or go on a date with me, I'm all here for you. And Cary's looking at me like I'm fucking creepy. But listen, I grew up with the Harry Potter franchise. Those kids are my age. So, like, when the first one came out, we were all 10. When the last one came out, we were all the same age. I grew up with them. So I felt like I was growing up with Emma Watson like I would grow up with any girl in school. So that was weird. So Regression.
I think she just chose to have her arms chopped off.
Yeah, I think she's bleeding somewhere, like crying. I'm sorry, Emma Watson, you have no arms. So Regression. Do you know what this one's about?
I don't, actually.
You know what's really weird? From the trailer, you can't really tell much either. From what I can gather, it's a thriller with Ethan Hawke playing the guy kind of chasing this thing down, and Emma Watson, I think, has some memory problems. I'm probably fucking that up, and you guys are probably laughing at me. But I couldn't really understand what it was about, like, fully, because it was, like, kind of like the Hunger Games, where it was just a bunch of images flashed back and forth, and it was just, like, a really hype up with the music and build-up and stuff. I am really interested in this movie, because I actually just previously watched the director's... one of the movies the director has done, The Others. Do you like The Others?
I did like The Others, yeah. The
Others, I rewatched it the other day, and I said this when it first came out when I was in 5th grade, like, it's one of the best ghost stories I've ever seen in my life. And it's got one of the best twists on a ghost story I've ever seen. So with that director at the helm of this, with Ethan Hawke and Emma Watson, I'm totally down. Because I'm a fan of the Hawk. Are you a fan of the Hawk?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, he's actually been doing a lot more movies in the past 5 years than he's ever done in his career, and I will watch anything with Ethan Hawke.
I wasn't a big fan of Predestination, though I did like a good kill.
So I really like Predestination,
and I didn't. People do,
and I didn't like Good Kill. So once again, we're clashing. No, but like Ethan Hawke, he's a great actor.
Yeah,
he really is. And then Emma Watson, I think she's making the best choices out of the Harry Potter kids. Because did you ever see Perks of Being a Wallflower?
No, I never saw that.
That was a great young adult novel adaptation. Listen, folks, I hate for the most part young adult novel adaptations. They're all the same bullshit. None of them like reach the level of like a Perks of Being the Wallflower or like Me, Earl and Dying Girl or like A Fault in Our Stars or Harry Potter or Hunger Games. Most of them are like mediocre trash. But Perks of Being a Wallflower was legit to quit, son. So I think she's making the best decisions out of all three of them. Daniel Radcliffe, on the other hand, I watched Horns the other day for the first time. That was enjoyable, but still no Emma Watson career. So, Regression, it seems cool. Emma Watson, Ethan Hawke, from the director of The Others, guys. And listen, I just, like, the reason why I bring this up is because I watched The Others the other day on Netflix, because they actually just added it. So, If you have not seen The Others, please go watch it. It's a really great ghost story. And you guys hear that? Fucking Southwest, man. I swear to everything. Like, they want to ruin these fucking episodes. Yeah. Fuck you too. Alright, so...
Or could be Virgin Airlines.
It probably is Virgin. Fucking Virgin. Like, God. That's a terrible airline, by the way. Don't go to them. So, the next one... Oh, actually...
Where did that come from?
You know, I have a deep pager for Virgin Airlines. They're fucking awful. I flew with them once, and it was like... I want you to imagine, like, the most painful hemorrhoid in your life, and, like, you just can't get rid of it. And you can't have, like, one of those, like, donuts to sit on. It's almost like you're in constant pain.
I've flown with them, and they were fine.
Well, apparently they like you and they hate me. So, there's 2 more trailers to talk about, guys. I actually want to end the trailer section on the best one of the week. So the second to last one is The Man from U.N.C.L.E., the second trailer. Henry Cavill, Armie Hammer, which is like a pre-Justice League movie, and then the chick from Ex Machina.
Right.
And then it's directed by Guy Ritchie. I have to ask you a question. You like Guy Ritchie films?
Yeah, I do.
Do you like older Guy Ritchie or newer Guy Ritchie?
Probably older Guy Ritchie, I guess.
We agree on something. Snatch is fantastic. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels is great. Yeah. What are some of the other ones he's done? Older ones.
Those are the 2 that come to mind.
Those are his 2 most popular ones for sure. The Sherlock Holmes movies are whatever. I just don't understand like why Guy Ritchie likes to be neutered like a puppy and go to these PG-13 movies. I really like it when he does like the hard R, like a Snatch or Barrels. And so when I saw the first trailer from The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is like a spy thriller, that's all you need to know. It's based on a TV show.
From way before your time.
Way before my time, because apparently I'm just young and I think everything's dope. I was born in 1990. Let's calm down. The first trailer came out. I didn't really care for it. It kind of reminded me of like a Sherlock Holmes in a way, and I'm just like, Guy Ritchie, what are you doing? Like, I don't understand like why Warner Brothers is like, hey Guy, listen, you can make whatever the hell you want. You just gotta be neutered a little bit. So
I think the bigger problem is selling The Man from U.N.C.L.E. to most people, even from that generation. I mean, the show was popular in its day, but it wasn't like a hugely popular. I just don't know how many people remember it or care about it. And I think for anyone under 40, they've never even heard of it before. So why should they care?
Well, you're right, because before this movie, I've never heard of it, and I've been following this movie ever since Cavill was spotted on set in 2013, shortly after the Man of Steel release, and so. It's almost like when you're in the classroom and you're giving like a show and tell speech and like some kid is like raising his hand asking a question. That's what it's like doing these things live with a fucking airplane going across. But anyways, the second trailer to Man from U.N.C.L.E., I kind of liked it.
Yeah,
I thought it was a lot more action packed. I guess.
I mean, I think it's going to be fun with Guy Ritchie and with the concept. I think it'll be fun. I just don't know.
So with that being said, do you think Henry Cavill is the only selling force behind this movie because he's Superman?
Right. Yeah, I think certainly for anyone under 40, it's Henry Cavill, and I guess they're hoping for people over 40 that they'll remember the old show and nostalgia. They'll go out of nostalgia.
Do you think the stench of the failure of the Lone Ranger will kind of scare people away when they see Armie Hammer?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they blame Armie Hammer for the Lone Ranger.
Neither do I. Listen, did you ever see The Social Network?
Yes, of course.
I thought he was great in it.
Yeah.
I thought he was great playing basically himself because like he's not a twin. So, but yeah, it looks cool. And like I think what fascinates me more is to see the career of the chick from Ex Machina.
Yeah,
she was fantastic in that film. And I kind of want to see more of her and stuff. Warner Brothers, once again, if you're listening to this, because you're not, you're doing more important things. You'd rather get castrated. Listen. I don't understand why you can't... Like, Guy Ritchie... When was the last R-rated Guy Ritchie movie? Rock'n'Rolla? In 2006? What the fuck? That was almost 10 years ago. Like, I don't understand. Like, is his ideas not working out? Because you work with him all the time, Warner Brothers. Like, let him do an R-rated movie.
Maybe he wants PG-13. He wants that big, crossover.
Well, Guy Ritchie, I know you have kids, but why? Like, it seems like you've just been neutered. at least you agree with me that I kind of want to see another Snatch from him or something. So
I don't think this will be Snatch.
Oh, hell no. It's going to be Sherlock. But no, it looks like a cool trailer. I'm interested to see Henry Cavill outside of the Superman roles because, once again, you want to hear a disagreement? Hey, Cary, you want me to make your hairs on the back of your neck stand? I love Man of Steel, and it's the best Superman movie we've ever had. How do you respond to that?
Well, I didn't hate Man of Steel. In fact, the first half of Man of Steel I liked quite a bit. I thought the resolution, the second half of it, I didn't think worked as well. But I don't hate Man. A lot of people hate Man. I don't hate it,
which is astounding because most people hate it. Because you don't have to give me your age, but did you grow up with the Donner movies?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've said it once and I'll say it again. I think the seriousness of Man of Steel is what we need. I've never liked the cartoonish Man of Steel, and it kind of goes with Batman. I've never liked the Adam West Batman. So my address is apparently I'm not supposed to give out my address, so if you want to come throw a pitchfork at me, come fucking find me. I'm in Dallas. Listen, when I did my Man of Steel podcast, I got a lot of flack for that shit. Like, people hate that movie, so I'm just like, what is going on? So the last trailer I want to talk about is The Program. Do you know anything about this movie?
Not much.
I was the exact same way when I was going through my YouTube subscription list, and I saw this trailer for The Program. Now, in the thumbnail was Ben Foster. I fucking love this guy.
He's great.
He's such a great actor. What was the first Ben Foster movie you've ever seen?
I don't know. I think the first time I saw him and knew who he was in 6 Feet Under, the TV show.
Oh, the TV show? Yeah. I heard the show was really cool. I'm going to have to check it out. But the first movie I ever saw him in was The Hostage. I thought he was great as that like psycho lunatic. Right. And so ever since that movie, I've been following this guy because I love me some Ben Foster. So The Program comes out, and you're thinking to yourself, what's The Program? It's the Lance Armstrong movie, where he plays Lance Armstrong and stuff, and, you know, it's got, what's his name? Chris O'Dowd. This trailer was so good. What the fuck? This came out of nowhere. It shows up in my subscription list, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, Ben Foster, I'll check it out. I clicked on it, and it's the Lance Armstrong movie. I'm just like, okay. And when the trailer ended, I was like, Ben Foster could be nominated for an Oscar. Like, it's one of those type of roles.
Yeah, I knew he was making that the Lance Armstrong movie, and
I didn't know that.
But you think, he doesn't look anything like Lance Armstrong, but I think he might.
In the trailer, he kind of does.
Yeah, when you're just hearing about it for the first time, you think they don't look anything like. How's he going to pull that off? But I think he might be able to.
Yeah, no, it looks awesome. Like, holy shit! Have you heard of the trailer? I'm blanking now. It's the Tobey Maguire one, chess player.
Oh yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
That trailer was great too, and that came out of nowhere. Listen, whoever's doing this, whoever is starting this trend of releasing trailers and we don't know anything about it, and you're just releasing it, and it's kind of attacking us, I love that, because these trailers are surprising the hell out of me. So The Program, Lance Armstrong movie, Ben Foster, it looks amazing. It looks like a great biopic, so I'm looking forward to it. So out of the entire week, that is definitely the winner, and I have to give... I give The Martian a second place, but guess what, 20th Century Fox? You fucked it up when you made it 3.5 minutes. What are you doing? Seriously, let's just show the whole movie. Cary, you want to see The Martian now? Nah, I don't really want to. I saw the whole fucking movie in the trailer. Fucking dumb. Alright, so that's it for all the trailers this week, guys. Listen, if you guys have any comments on the news or trailers, comment in that place to upload my voice and let me know. So, you guys are all here for the meat. The entree, if you will. The news and the trailers, they're fucking appetizers. So let's break it down, ladies and gentlemen. Jurassic World. Now, before we get into the review, because I like to stall on the show and hype people up, Cary, do you remember watching the first one, and what were your thoughts after the first time you saw Jurassic Park?
Oh, I loved it. What's not to love about the original Jurassic Park?
Yeah. It's a classic. It's a 90s staple, and I find it very interesting and so awesome. And this is why you gotta love Spielberg. Releases Jurassic Park and Schindler's List in the same fucking year. That's awesome. Because for me personally, Schindler's List is my favorite Spielberg movie. What's yours?
It's definitely up there. Jurassic Park is up there. I like War of the Worlds even.
You got to pick one though. If you we'll do a little Sophie's choice here. So like, you can only pick one Spielberg movie, and the rest are gone from history. Got to pick one. Which one are you going with?
I guess Schindler's List.
Don't say that just because I'm here. What's your true feelings? You a Jaws fan? E.T.? Well, what's going on?
No. I'm not a huge... I mean, I like E.T., but I'm not a huge fan of E.T.
Okay. That's respectable. I'll give you that. Okay, so, Schindler's List is a great film, but I just find it amazing that both was released in the same year. So if you didn't know that, congratulations. The more you know. So, like I said, you don't have to reveal your age, but I was 3 years old when the first one came out.
I was not 3. Let's put it that way.
That is definitely a fact here. That was the first fact ever given in this entire episode. So everything I just told you was bullshit. I remember because my parents. Do you remember when the 20th anniversary came out in 2013 and in 3D and stuff?
Right.
I saw it in theaters and I told my dad about it, and he was saying when I was 3 years old, he dumped me off at my aunt's so him and my mom could go watch it, and it's like. That's awesome. I'm glad that like my parents saw that and stuff because like that just shows you how powerful this movie was. And I think I watched it. Oh man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe not until I was 7 or 8. So I didn't watch it until years after it came out. I think I watched it around the same time Lost World came out, which was in '97. But what did you think of the Lost World, the sequel?
I mean, it didn't live up to Jurassic Park. I mean,
of course.
I thought it was okay, but yeah, it was no Jurassic Park.
What did you think about the absence of Sam O'Neill?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if that's what bothered me about it.
Because like Dr. Grant is a pretty pivotal character in this franchise,
right.
And you know, listen, we all love the Goldblum, but when he's carrying a movie, it's kind of that's a big pile of dino shit. No, like he's a great actor. He's likable. He's lovable. He's like a Keanu Reeves in a way. But him carrying a movie just doesn't really seem to fit. And I didn't hate The Lost World. I thought it was okay. I thought it had some redeemable stuff in it, but for the most part, it was just. You're right. It was a huge step down from the first one. So the third one comes out, 2001. Right. And this was actually the first one I saw in theaters. And you're probably thinking to yourself, "Oh dear Lord, why was it this one?" I was 11 when it came out, and I remember me and my mom we went to go see it at this like theater that was closing down or whatever. And I will always remember this. Mom, if you're listening to this, don't worry, I'm not making fun of you or anything. But my mom doesn't really like kind of raunchy movies. I do, and since Jurassic Park 3 came out in 2001. Cary, what was another raunchy comedy that came out in 2001?
2001?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Just take a wild guess.
I don't know.
American Pie 2.
Yeah.
So Universal actually distributed the American Pie franchise and the Jurassic Park franchise. So in front of Jurassic Park 3 was a preview for American Pie 2, and it opens up with the scene where Jason Biggs is having sex in his dorm room, and Eugene Levy comes in. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, oh my god, this is embarrassing. Because I told my mom to go see Team America World Police.
How did she like that?
To this day, I honestly don't know because I never asked her. I just felt embarrassed to go because I was 14 at the time and I really wanted to see it because Trey Parker and Matt Stone are like my idols. But so I think after Jurassic Park 3 and Team America, I really don't ask my mom to go see raunchy movies with me anymore. Yeah, I remember seeing number 3, and even as an 11-year-old, that wasn't like I was into film and stuff, but I didn't really have that mindset like now, like you and I have. I mean, even as a kid, I was like, this is a huge step down from the first one. Like, I really didn't like the kid actor. I don't remember his name because no one fucking does. Like, he's gone. I don't even know if he's acting anymore. But like, I love William H. Macy, but why? I felt like it was a waste of time. Like, could you pretty much sum that up as number 3?
Yeah, I mean, it was a step down from the second one.
It was just, I just don't understand like how you can go from like this really great like first one, which is a classic in most people's minds. Now listen, can you and I agree that like Jurassic Park is not like it's not like an Oscar masterpiece or anything, but it's a very fun monster movie. Could you agree on that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's... Listen, if you guys don't think that Jurassic Park franchise is a monster movie, you're smoking something. Because listen, Godzilla is popular in Japan and all that stuff. I think that the Jurassic Park franchise is kind of like our Godzilla, almost. I mean, it's... And when we get to the box office numbers, you're gonna fucking shit bricks. But it's really popular among people, and so 2001 was the last one that came out. We're looking at a 14-year difference. Now, before even reading about it, seeing any trailers, when you hear that a Jurassic World sequel, if you will, is coming out 14 years later, what's your immediate thought process? Are you thinking, is that too late, or like, is this the right time for it? Like, what did you think about that when you heard a sequel was coming out?
I didn't think it was too late. I just thought this might just be more of the same from the last one.
Yeah. We kind of all thought that, where it's like, I don't really want to Jurassic Park 3 again, so... What did you think of the first trailers that started coming out for Jurassic World? Were you intrigued at least?
I mean, I was intrigued, but they didn't really thrill me. The whole chemistry between Chris Pratt and Dallas Bryce Howard, I don't know. It just seemed a little bit too forced. So, yeah.
The fact that he's answering everything like pretty drone-like can tell you that he didn't... we'll get to it. So, I gotta be honest with you. When the first trailers started coming out, I was okay with them. I like Chris Pratt a lot. Do you think that he's a pretty good leading man?
He's a good leading man. I mean, I like it when he has a little bit of sense of humor, which he doesn't have in this movie.
Okay.
Like in Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, here it's just a bit more straight and narrow, and I like it when he's a little bit less straight and narrow. Okay.
I actually played this game with my roommate. I'm going to play with you too. If you can only choose one, and you cannot see the other's sequel, which Chris Pratt franchise would you choose? Would you want to see Guardians 2 more or Jurassic World 2 more?
Guardians.
Yeah, we agree on that. My roommate chose Jurassic World. You're right. He's a great actor, and he's got so much charisma. He's basically the white version of The Rock. So, but we'll get to that in just a second. So getting closer to it with more advertisement and stuff, more trailers, more clips coming out, were you still pumped for it, or you just kind of so-so still?
I was sort of so-so. I wouldn't say I was pumped for it.
Okay. So, June 12th. It's here. It's out. Jurassic fucking World. This is the 4th installment. Who's going to go first on this one? We're going to say whether we liked it, whether we thought it was okay, or whether we hated it. We're going to start with those first, and we'll get more in depth. So, Cary, out of those three, did you like it? Thought it was so-so? Or did you hate it?
I thought it was okay.
Okay. I fucking loved it. I think it's a really great sequel in the franchise, and I think it's a really great summer blockbuster. It's a great monster movie. Did I have issues with it? Yeah, I did. And we'll get into that. But I'll let you go first. So tell me about the positives of Jurassic World. What did you like about it the most?
The dinosaurs. I like the Indominus Rex.
If you didn't really like the dinosaurs in Jurassic World, then what the fuck are you doing there?
Well, they could have, done it badly.
They could have shit the bed. We'll hold that until last, because I'm sure we have a lot of stipulation on the whole CG practical thing. So, but as far as positives go, go ahead and... was that basically it, just the dinosaurs?
That's pretty much it.
Oh, come on. Folks, this is the person that actually gets paid to write reviews, and his one no answer, dinosaurs. But, nothing else.
Well, you want to get into a little Chris Pratt, Dallas Bryce Howard thing, the two kids?
That seems more on your negative side.
Yeah.
But okay, let's go with the directing. Colin Trevorrow. Did you like Safety Not Guaranteed?
Yeah, I did.
I thought it was a really great indie movie, and I thought it was really creative and stuff, so it's really interesting to see an indie filmmaker go to a big blockbuster. Did you think Colin Trevorrow did a pretty good job at directing his first big blockbuster?
Yeah, in general, yeah.
Okay. Did you like the cinematography?
Yeah, I don't know, the film looked good. Yeah.
I believe Cary has a lot more negatives than positives, so, okay. For me, positive-wise, I think Trevorrow, for what he was given, I think he did a really great job. And I'm not going to lie. as a grown-ass man, I pretty much teared. I teared ever so slightly when Giacchino's score started doing John Williams' theme, kind of redux in his way, when they opened the park doors for the first time. I was like, yes. I really did. I was like, this is great. I was like, my childhood reborn. No, I think Trevorrow really, I think for his first big blockbuster, you got to tip your hat off to him. Like I think he pretty much killed it as his first big blockbuster and stuff.
Well, I don't think he'll be doing indie movies anymore after this, probably.
I'll bet you money on that. I think he'll actually want to go back and do, because he's not signed on for number 5. We'll get to that shortly when you hear about the box office, but he said he's not coming back. So I think he wants to do more indie stuff, but I think as a first-time blockbuster experience, I've heard interviews and stuff, and he seemed to really enjoy it. I mean, he didn't seem like he had any trouble, like Josh Trank on Fantastic Four. But, do you know about that whole story?
I don't know. I don't think I know the whole story.
There's a lot of shit going on. Josh Trank, I don't know if he shit the bed or not, but the producers had to come in, do reshoot stuff. It was a whole fucking mess. But it seems like Trevorrow's relationship with Spielberg and stuff, it seemed like it was pretty well. So I think story elements are where I had some issues, and some of the characters, it was just whatever. Did you feel like some of the story elements and some of the character issues, if you will, were kind of unnecessary for this movie? Kind of like really just random subplots just plopped in there?
Yeah, I mean, they were just kind of sort of filler to wait till the dinosaurs. I didn't really care about, unlike the first Jurassic Park, I didn't really care about anybody really in the film.
I mean, that's a good point, because even in Jurassic Park, even with a goofy character as Jeff Goldblum, it's like he's still likable. Hello, we have some dinosaurs.
I mean, here the Jake Johnson character is supposed to be the comic relief, and I thought it was mildly amusing, but I didn't think it couldn't carry the movie. That's for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, he's basically for comic relief. You and I understand that, but as far as like, because we're still on like directing and writing and stuff, and it's like, I think. Listen, this is not a spoiler. When the kids started crying, one of the main kids started crying about their parents divorcing, no one gave a shit. Listen, I understand, and this goes for Godzilla as well, you have to have filler with human characters. Totally get that. But why do you have to make it, I don't know, not really uninteresting, but kind of unnecessary? It kind of felt like out of place, Like, they're on this train, they're going to Jurassic World, and he starts crying and bitching about his parents' divorce. Especially, I don't think that situation had been built that well either.
Exactly. It was not built up. It was just plopped in there randomly. We're not going to spoil on this podcast, but it leaves off for sequels. I understand this. We might get more depth down the road, but as a standalone movie, you can't cheat that way. You have to have a little bit of, depth, little subplots that make sense. I just felt like some of the subplots did not make any sense. And yes, I am fully aware it's a monster movie, and some of the human characters are going to be boring as shit. But you have to make it interesting. So, I had some story issues there, and some of the plot devices, like I said, I can't spoil anything, so it's hard to really talk about. So I'll just put it that way. Some of the decisions that were made by characters, I didn't really care for. And it's like, we could have prevented this whole movie if someone was just being smarter. I mean, can you kind of understand?
Well, that's true with a lot of sort of movies of this ilk.
Yeah, so. Like I said, guys, I'm really sorry. It's really hard to fucking tread waters because I don't spoil anything. So as far as the directing goes, just to wrap it up, I think Trevorrow did a very fantastic job. I had some issues with the writing, and let's face it, some of the lines were fucking cheesy. But then some of them, they actually counteracted and fought typical cliches, so it was kind of weird. So overall, I thought the directing and writing were strong in most aspects, but there were some cheesy and unnecessary parts. Let's go into the acting. So I'm sure you have a lot of fucking things to talk about in that. So I'll go first on this one. I like Chris Pratt. I think he's a great leading man. You're right. He didn't really have any comedic moments in this, and it was kind of a little sparse, but I still liked him because he played like kind of that militant badass, and I thought he did pretty well. And then of course, Bryce Dallas Howard. Listen, They both look alike. Jessica Chastain and Bryce Dallas Howard. I swear to God, I think someone in the audience was like, "Is that Jessica Chastain?" I wanted to turn around like, "No, it's the other one." Which is sad because like she's Ron Howard's daughter, and it's like you figured she'd be more famous, but Jessica Chastain is. Anyways, I digress. I thought Bryce Dallas Howard was okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't really like the way her character was written. I just thought it was like this sort of, I think it's supposed to be a play. It's like a twist on the old kind of 1940s and 50s kind of not superhero, but the man's man and the woman's the woman is kind of she's like icy and kind of waiting for the guy to sweep her off her feet, sort of thing, which people complained about in the trailers. So I think it's supposed to be kind of a twist on that, but I don't think it was done well enough.
I don't think it was a twist. I think she was meant to be kind of a, let's face it, a cold bitch, and she was kind of a workaholic. Pratt plays a raptor whisperer, I guess. I have to admit, when I saw the trailers, I thought that was not going to work. I actually thought it played out really well in the movie.
Being the raptor whisperer?
Yeah. Did you buy into it?
Yeah, I like my raptors just eating people. I don't want them tamed. So the concept, I mean, I thought they did it fairly well, but the whole concept, I like my original raptors being raptors.
Okay, well, let me pitch this to you and see if this changes your mind. This park, theoretically, has been open for 20 years.
Right.
So don't you think later down the road, like, when you first open the park, they're probably still meat eaters, they attack people, but don't you think, like, later down the line, they would want to kind of understand these animals and stuff, and so don't you think it would be plausible for someone to be like that?
Right.
Okay, so folks, I'm trying to sway Cary to like this movie, but I'm not. It's not working.
But if you're talking about plausibility, would they ever even reopen that park in the first place?
No, but we'll get that towards the very end because me and my roommate think that this park is fucked. There's absolutely no way they're going to open this again. But Pratt and then Bryce Dallas Howard, they have a little love connection, whatever. I didn't really care for the kids. I think Ty Simpkins, he plays the younger kid. He's fine. I thought he was pretty good in the Insidious movies. He was kind of annoying in Iron Man 3. I didn't really like him. His older brother, I didn't really like him either. That's Nick Robinson, and
I liked him in Kings of Summer.
I never saw that one. Was it actually pretty good?
Yeah, it was very good, yeah.
You know what's really funny? The first exposure I ever had of him was that TV show Melissa and Joey. Yeah, you laugh about it, but it's fucking embarrassing. Yeah, I watched that show. But did those kids seem like they were kind of like borderline annoying to you, and kind of like where they were kind of one note, where like the older brother was kind of like the asshole. He was like, I don't want to be my younger brother. And
they had to have kids in it, I guess, so younger people know and supposedly identify with them, but there was nothing interesting about them.
There really wasn't, and it goes back to the points we were saying about when they were on the train. He was like, he's like, "What's wrong? My parents are getting divorced. Where did this come from?" So it was dumb. Other characters, Jake Johnson. First of all, I gotta say, I got to interview him for Let's Be Cops. It's really cool to interview celebrities and see them in bigger films. So I gotta brag about that, So I shook his hand. But no, Jake Johnson, I've always liked him in New Girl and stuff. I think he's great comedic relief. Let's Be Cops was okay, but as far as here, you're right. He didn't really have as many comedic lines as people are praising. Like, he had that one really cool kind of bit at the end. I think you know what I'm talking about with the whole that was kind of funny because that kind of played with against the cliches, like I was saying, but. I mean, he played like the computer. He was basically the Wayne Knight of this movie, except Wayne Knight was he's a lot more unattractive and fatter than Jake Johnson. He kind of looks like he's been in a closet forever. But no, Jake Johnson plays the computer programmer or whatever. He does fine. I think he'll have. I predict that he'll actually have a bigger role in future movies.
Yeah, that might be true.
Yeah, I think he definitely will. So Jake Johnson's character, he was kind of so-so, but I think he'll have a bigger presence in the sequels. But we're judging on this movie, so I think it was fine. Vincent D'Onofrio. It was like watching Kingpin 2. I swear to God. There was one scene, I think you know what I'm talking about, where the elevator is open, he's got a bunch of guys behind him. I was like, this is fucking Kingpin. This is Daredevil all over again.
But didn't you, well, without spoiling anything, but didn't you find his demise a bit of a letdown?
No. let's just call it what it is. This is not spoil anything. Vincent D'Onofrio plays like the badder guy. Would that be safe to say? Okay. He plays the worst gentleman of the movie. His motivations were kind of rushed, but at the same time, when money is involved, people act like that.
No, I'm not disputing that. I'm just talking about
just how fast it was, I guess.
I was expecting a better, more satisfying
kind of
end for him.
Okay, okay, that's justified. I'll give you that. That's true. Like what Cary was saying, like it just happens so fast with Vincent D'Onofrio's kind of arc a little bit. And same goes for what's the actor's name that played Wu?
B.D. Wong.
B.D. Wong. He is the only person that was actually from the first one.
Yeah.
Which is great because we're not going to spoil anything, but his character takes a pretty abrupt turn from what we thought he was, and he's definitely going to be in the sequels. Yeah. He's going to be the Darth Vader,
which is good for him because I've always liked B.D. Wong. So it's nice for him to get a big paycheck.
Yeah, I know. I'm really. It's kind of weird. Like when they were calling him, it's like, "Hey, you were in this movie 20 plus years ago. You want to be in the fourth one?" He's like, "What movie was I in?" It's like it was so long ago. You don't even fucking know anymore. But no, his character. That's all I'll say. He's kind of like the Darth Vader of this franchise. Am I missing anyone else? That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as like the new actors go, because we grew up with the Goldblum and the Sam O'Neill and stuff, I think they did fine. And I think we just have to see more movies to kind of progress where their characters are going to go and stuff. And to kind of cap off the acting segment, I didn't really care for Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt's relationship. And I have to bring this up because, oh dear God, you if you did not notice this and you didn't think to yourself, that's kind of weird, then I don't know what movie you're watching. Bryce Dallas Howard. She is in fucking heels the entire time and she is running in the forest. She is running on concrete. This woman is the champion of fucking running in high heels. Did you notice that?
I did notice that. I like to think they were sort of spoofing themselves with that.
I guess, but it's still fucking impressive. It's like you're running in high heels because the first shot we see of her is her fucking feet, and she's wearing the high heels. And then I remember there was one shot, like after all the running and stuff, there's a full body shot, and I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, she's still wearing heels. Like it was fucking impressive. So I thought the acting overall was fine. Some of the character arcs were not really complete. They were set up strictly for the sequel, and I think Chris Pratt can definitely carry this franchise, especially with the character of Wu and Vincent D'Onofrio, Jay Johnson. I have hope. Cary, on the other hand, has a different opinion. What did you like? Come on, you've had to like some of the actors, right?
Well,
and what did you dislike about
I think you've come closer to me because you had a lot of exceptions there in your rave.
Well, true, but
I think you're coming closer to my side.
It's your turn now, so I want you to take a hold of this section. So, I mean, what did you like about the acting? What did you dislike about it the most?
I thought Chris Pratt was fine. I just like him in more dimensions to him.
Okay. Well, as an actor that's getting really popular right now, he's going to take more dramatic roles and stuff. So I think we're just going to kind of have to accept the fact he's going to try new things.
Right.
And Grant, I'm with you on that. I love his comedic chops because Parks and Rec's awesome and Guardians is awesome. This was kind of a step back, but I mean, was that the main complaint you had? Was that you thought he was going to be more comedic?
Well, no. My complaint about the movie doesn't have as much to do with the acting. It's just the human stories I thought got in the way for me.
Well, yeah. I mean, like we were saying, like with the subplots and some of the side stories and stuff, it's just some of the human elements are just whatever. But
and the relationship between Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt, I didn't really care for. So it's like basically when the dinosaurs weren't on the screen, I wasn't that interested.
That's a fair assumption because that last third act was pretty fucking awesome. Yeah. It was equivalent to Godzilla.
And we didn't mention the I guess. We used to say pterodactyl, but I guess now it's pterosaur.
Whatever the fuck. It was like a weird Frankenstein experiment.
It was like a takeoff on The Birds, Hitchcock's The Birds.
Yeah.
And so I thought that scene was awesome. If the whole movie had been that, I would have been happy.
Yeah, no, like, basically, I think you and I can agree. I think from, like, the middle of the second act onward was the best part of the entire movie, for sure. But, so Bryce Dallas Howard, like, have you seen any of her other work? Have you ever even liked her?
She's never made a huge impression on me one way or the other, to be honest.
You guys can't see his facial expression, but he's kind of like, whatever. The first exposure I have I'm actually looking at was when she was in 50-50.
Oh, yeah. I like 50-50 a lot.
I love that movie, but she was a bitch in that movie. Because she was like, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, you have cancer. Get the fuck out of my house. And it's like, F you, fucker. God. No, I hate people like that. But I think she does fine. But out of both of the redheads, I think you and I are both on Chastain's team, right?
Team Chastain.
Yeah, Team Chastain. For the lookalike team, we go with Chastain. But yeah, she's fine. And you talk about Jake Johnson. What do you think about Vincent D'Onofrio?
Oh, I mean,
as an actor,
in general, you mean?
In general, yes.
In general, I think he's good. I mean, he doesn't really. He has to be kind of your stereotypical,
bad guy.
Mean guy. So he's fine.
Did you finally get around to watching Daredevil?
Which one?
Daredevil.
No, I haven't seen Daredevil.
Cary, I fucking told you to watch that 2 months ago. Watch Daredevil. He's fantastic as Kingpin.
Okay.
Please watch that show.
Okay.
And you'll change your mind about D'Onofrio. That's why I really like this movie, because I got little hints of Kingpin in there. I was really excited. So those were your main complaints about the acting, I guess?
Yeah. Well,
was it more focused on Pratt and Dallas
like
Howard?
I said, it wasn't the acting so much. It's just the way the characters are written was what I had problems with.
Okay, I mean that's justifiable because you and I can both agree that everyone delivered. It's just the way they were kind of written,
what they were delivering.
Okay, I respect that. So let's break down the cinematography and how it looks, and we'll get into the whole CGI practical debate because that does apply with the cinematography. For the most part, I thought it was shot really well, and I really do like most of the CGI. Did you like the CGI in this movie? Because we both know that this is about as 90%, 100% CGI versus the first one where it was they only use CGI in necessary scenes.
Right.
So are you a huge fan more of mostly CGI, or are you mostly fan of practical?
I guess, if I had to choose, I'd say probably mostly practical. But, again, it just depends on how the CGI is used. I guess my sort of complaint, again, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, and the big Dino versus Dino fight at the end.
Yeah.
It seemed like the perspective or the sizes were wrong. Indominus Rex should have been a lot bigger.
True. Because if that's the genetically modified dinosaur, you figure it facing off in a battle, it'd be the biggest motherfucker.
Right.
So, I totally agree with that. But did the CGI bother you in this one? Because I've heard a lot of people say that.
I've heard that too.
It's super noticeable and it kind of takes you out of the movie a little bit.
Yeah, that's what it didn't take me out of the movie.
Okay.
Maybe if I saw it again and maybe looking for it, maybe it would, but just first go through it didn't bother me.
Okay. Because have you watched the first one recently?
I haven't, not in a few years, no.
Oh dear Lord! When I saw it in theaters for its 20th anniversary, it still looks good. It's where the hell was that CGI? Where'd that come from? The dinosaurs look so realistic; it was incredible, and I think it was a really great blend of practical and CGI. And I kind of wish this one would have done a lot more. Yeah. For instance, this is not spoilers, I don't think, because you saw in the trailer that this Indominus Rex kills a lot of dinosaurs in its path. In the first film, when Jeff Goldblum, that's a big pile of shit. Sorry, I had to bring that up because it's my favorite line of the entire movie. When they reach the Triceratops, is that the dinosaur's name?
The vegetarian dinosaur?
Yeah, the 3-horn one?
I think so, yeah.
Apparently I passed school. You remember in the first one? That was a practical dinosaur. And we could physically see the breathing and stuff.
Right.
There's a scene in this one where Pratt is holding, I think, a stegosaurus by the neck or something. It didn't really have the same effect on me as the first one, because we could physically see it kind of breathe and stuff. It kind of looked real and kind of bumpy and stuff. But, I think that's what bothered me the most was on the close-ups with the hands and stuff when they were kind of rubbing the dinosaurs. Not like that, you sick fucks. When they were rubbing the dinosaurs or whatever, you can kind of tell. And it kind of took me out a little bit. I was like, I can tell they're not really touching a dinosaur. So, with the whole CGI versus practical, for the most part, it did not bother you.
For the most part, it didn't bother me. No.
Okay. And I totally agree. I think for the most part, it was actually blended in really well. So, I think you're right on the whole, in action scene with the Indominus Rex and the other dinosaurs and stuff, the proportions were kind of off, but that didn't really bother me because it was a kick-ass action scene. So, no, but from the way it was shot and everything, I thought the colors and everything, I love, what's great about the first one it's so green and luscious, and it counteracts with the blood, with the dinosaurs and stuff, and just the way the dinosaurs look. It's just a rich looking movie. I love movies that are shot in like landscapes like that. So I think the cinematography for the most part it's actually quite gorgeous. Like I love the blend of everything, and it just looks good. It's just a good looking movie, and I have to ask, did you like the fact that they have like thousands of people on this island versus like the first one where it was only like 6 or 7?
Well, I think they had to take it to the next level, so they had to have it as an amusement park now. But like, who would, what government or insurance company would let them open, and who would actually go? But we'll leave that realism for another debate.
Yeah.
But no, they had to have more people on the island.
Okay.
So.
I just that was just a random thought that kind of popped up. So yeah, I think the cinematography is actually really, especially for a summer blockbuster. Keep that in mind, because summer blockbusters, they can easily be lazy and shit the bed on that. But I think from the terms of the CGI and the way dinosaurs are blended in with the humans, some of the shots do not work, but for the most part, it's a very gorgeous looking movie. So I gotta give props on that. So let's get into like the editing and like the pace and stuff. I think this movie's about 2 hours long. Did you feel like it had a nice rhythm to it, or because you said like once the second act kind of kicked in, that's when I kind of started getting a little interested in stuff. So overall, was it well paced, or was it kind of choppy to you?
I thought once it got going, it was well paced. I think when you compare it to the original was very suspenseful, and I didn't find this one suspenseful, really.
It was almost like a horror film.
Yeah, very much so. I thought it was sort of darker and very much sort of kept you on the edge of your seat, whereas this one didn't. Even as much as I love, some of the dinosaur scenes and the pterosaur scene, it didn't have that sense of suspense that the first one had. I
kind of agree. It's almost like they cut out the suspense entirely, and that's not to say this movie's not violent as fuck. I have to comment on that. This movie is severely violent. Did you get like that sense? Like when I walked out, I was like, "That was a great movie," but dear Lord, like there was a lot of violence in it. Like it was super bloody. I was actually surprised they got away with a lot of stuff. For me personally, I was actually entertained throughout the entire thing. I think, nostalgia aside, I do think the first act is kind of like whatever. Let's just get to the park and everything. But you're right. As soon as they kind of get to the park and everything starts to go wrong, I think that's when it started really going fast for me. And I found a couple scenes to be very suspenseful, and that kind of worked for me just because I love when directors kind of play with long static shots, and we have a character like in the frame, and we have something that's kind of lurking for them, and they're kind of prowling around or whatever, and they kind of stop, smell around, look around. I love those shots because it does kind of hide the suspense for me. So I think they have really great timing on that. But as far as everything else, it does really kick in as soon as, like, I would say the second half of the second act, Carry On, it's like fucking Godzilla from last year. It is outstanding. So, what would you... did you review this one, or did you have someone else for the paper?
No, I did.
What's your rating system again? It's out of 5 stars, right?
Yeah, I gave it 3 out of 5.
You gave it a 3 out of 5? I saw it today, so I'm trying to process it. I think for what it is, which is a very fun, entertaining summer blockbuster, and that's what you have to go in thinking. Do not think this is going to be an Oscar-winning movie. You go in to have fun. If you can set your mind aside and go, I want to have some fun. Cary, that's what's weird about doing these things live. I have to, like, think of... Because I toy with usually a couple of them. Because I do mine out of 10. I'm going to go 8. I'm going to go 8 out of 10. I think there's a lot of more enjoyable parts to it than bad parts. To where the bad parts and the slow parts, the unnecessary parts, don't really affect my fun overall experience. Because like I said, that last battle at the end, please tell me that like you didn't feel like a kid. You were just like, oh my god, fucking dinosaurs fighting. Like you feel like you're a kid again, and I felt like I was watching the first one and stuff. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Cary's equivalent to out of a 10, I think is
what, 7?
It's a 7 because 2.5 would be 5.
Yeah, because we don't give halves, so it's kind of, the 3 can be a range, sort of. Yeah.
So the 3 could actually count from a 6 or a 7.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for the most part, we actually agree on this movie. which is strange because before we even started, you said you were kind of so-so, and I really fucking loved it. But I'm not going to be some fanboy and go like, it was a 10 out of 10, this was the best thing ever. No, let's take a step back, folks. So with that being said, I give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, and I've already told Cary this, and Cary has seen my room because he's in my room. I'm a huge Marvel fanboy, and I told you I really loved Avengers: Age of Ultron, my favorite movie of the summer so far.
More than Mad Max.
More than Mad Max. Cary's a Mad Max fan. We actually saw it a second time together, and to this day, this is still your favorite summer movie, right?
Yeah,
Mad Max. Jurassic World's my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Avengers.
Yeah. I really like it. I had... Listen, you guys know I'm a huge Marvel fanboy, but I had more fun with Jurassic World. Which is not to say I did not have fun with Avengers. I really did, but I think overall, Jurassic World, like, I was giddy in some parts like a child. I really enjoyed the action. I just love the way it was portrayed. It was like literally a direct sequel to the first one. I think that's why I enjoyed it a lot more. So 8 out of 10 for me, guys. Like, when we get to the box office numbers, you're going to shit bricks. So, Cary 3 out of 5 for him, 8 out of 10 for me. So let me ask you one final question. We'll go in the box office. Are you at least excited for the future sequels?
Excited, mildly excited.
It's like heartburn, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be curious to see who the director is.
Me too. I'm actually, because with the numbers I'm about to give you, guys, they're making a sequel. But I'm kind of really curious to see who's going to take the helm and who's going to come back and stuff. So I'm really excited for the future of this franchise, and I think it's a trilogy. I think they're going the trilogy route with it. So bring it on, Universal. You're having a great year, by the way. Jurassic World, Fury 7... My word, you have Minions coming out, you'll do just fine. So yeah, I really love Jurassic World, guys. It's a great, fun summer blockbuster that's entertaining. Had some issues, like I stated before, but we forgot to mention one thing. I don't know why I always forget fucking soundtracks. Michael Giacchino's score in this is amazing. Did you like the score in this one?
I did.
It was great. I thought Giacchino did an amazing job adapting John Williams' themes and really kind of playing on his own. Like, I'm not going to say which scene, but when the piano was playing, with the piano, I was like, that's fucking creepy. I love that. So, forgot to mention soundtrack. Giacchino, you're amazing, sir. Because, like, I really love the Star Trek movies with his music. So, Giacchino, please keep scoring. All right, so with that being said, the box office results for the weekend. Now, I'm going to go and turn my computer so Cary has no idea of the numbers. He's going to guess. We're going to do the whole game like I do with all my guests. You're never going to guess it. He's never going to guess it. Like, he's going to feel ashamed. Alright, so first, before we get into the top 5, what do you think the top 5 is?
Oh gosh, I mean, not much open this week except Jurassic World, so everything has to be holdovers.
Don't feel bad. No one ever gets this right.
I'm drawing a blank on what else is out there right now.
Okay. I'm actually going to give him the movies that are in the top 5, and you have to guess the correct order. Okay. So the movies he has to guess are Insidious 3, San Andreas, Pitch Perfect 2, Spy, and Jurassic World. Cary, go.
I'm going to say 5 would be Insidious.
Okay.
4 would be Pitch Perfect.
Okay.
3 would be San Andreas, 2 Spy, and 1 Jurassic World.
Close. You mixed 4 and 5 up.
Oh, okay.
So he almost got a full list, folks. I guess because I have my computer turned so you can't see. So guess how much. Well, actually, we'll get to that in number 1. I want to hype it up. So number 5, Pitch Perfect 2, and right now it's projected at $6 million. Its budget is unknown, but dear God, this movie has made $259 million worldwide. You can bet your ass they are making a third one. Holy shit. I'm actually going to grill Cary on all these movies. So, did you like Pitch Perfect 2?
I haven't seen Pitch Perfect 2. I didn't have to review that one.
I didn't see it either. Moving on. So number 4 is Insidious Chapter 3 with $7.3 million. Its budget is unknown, but guess what? It was made for like $5 in a bus token because it's Blumhouse. Right now, it's at 37 domestically, which is U.S. and Canada. Worldwide at 63. Guys, it's way over its budget. It's in the extreme profit margin right now. I'm actually going to ask Cary some questions on that. So, what did you think of Insidious 3?
I have not seen any of the Insidious movies.
I love Insidious. It's a great franchise. I said on my podcast last week that it's one of the best modern horror franchises. And my voice is cracked, so apparently my balls just dropped and I'm 13. Yeah, no, I thought the third one was really great. And I think that they've all been solid. That's what I really like about them. I really love Jason Blum as a producer. What are your thoughts on the Blum man?
I don't really have any thoughts on the Blum man.
Well, basically, Insidious, Paranormal Activity, Ouija, Unfriended. He's basically like the cheap horror producer, The Purge, Conjuring.
Right, yeah. I haven't seen a lot of those movies, but I mean, I'm familiar with the name, but I don't have an opinion because I haven't seen a lot of those movies.
Okay, well, apparently I like to torture myself with terrible horror movies, and Cary does not because he's smart. No, like he's a great producer. He basically makes movies for cheap, and he can bang out a quick buck. And you know what I really respect about him? And he's one of the only producers that'll actually say, yeah, I'm in this for the money. Right. It's fucking business, folks. So, I mean, when you admit that, you're on the step to recovery. But no, he actually does make quality movies every now and then where he actually cares about them. And I'm not saying he doesn't care, but he produced Whiplash. Right. And, you know, Whiplash was my favorite movie last year, so it's like, sometimes he can pull a great one out of his ass. Even though, like,
and Whiplash is kind of a horror movie.
It kind of is, so it's like, you're right. Wow, I actually didn't even put that together until now. So, guys, the one that's actually a real critic is one up of me. So number 3 is San Andreas, and it made $11 million this weekend. Its budget is also unknown. Box Office Mojo, what the fuck are you doing? Please update your stuff. Right now, I think, wow, this is actually the best Dwayne Johnson movie solo-wise for him. Domestically, it's got 119. Worldwide, it's got 307. Yeah. That's not bad.
No.
For a Dwayne Johnson solo movie, because usually the movies that he does really well in, he's kind of a part of a team, like a Furious movie or whatever. So, good job, man. Like,
but I think people aren't going to see him. They're going to see the LA and San Francisco get destroyed.
I could counter that and say that I think I think Dwayne Johnson's got a big enough audience, kind of like a Vin Diesel, where like they'll kind of watch whatever he's in. He's just, I think he's that charismatic. Like he's a charismatic dude. So number 2 is Spy with $16 million. His budget is also what the hell? Okay. Domestically, it's made 56. Worldwide, it's made 113. That's actually a little bit less than Bridesmaids in the Heat. Like, do you think? Did you? Well, I didn't even ask you about number 3. Did you say San Andreas?
Yes, we talked about it, didn't we? I mean, not on the show, but in general.
Yeah. Did I ask you about that? Because I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it? Okay. I kind of felt, I mean, the earthquake scenes are great. CGI is fantastic. But again, it's like the characters are one-dimensional cardboard
It's like reviewing Silly Putty. It's like you pull it out of the egg and you stretch it. It's like, it's a disaster movie. What do you want him to say? It's blowing up shit. So Spy, 113 million worldwide. That's not as good. Like, I'm going to pull up Feig's other movies. Bridesmaids in total domestically made 169, and The Heat domestically in total made 159.
Well, Spy's not finished yet, though. It probably hasn't opened worldwide yet.
Yeah, I know, but first of all, did you see it?
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm kind of like with you, where like, it was funny, it was whatever, but like, it wasn't like my favorite out of the 3. I think my favorite still is Bridesmaids out of the 3. Do you think people are getting tired of Melissa McCarthy's shtick? Or is that a little too harsh for me to say?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, it was a little bit different this time in that her weight wasn't the entire brunt of the point of the joke.
Yeah.
So I don't think people are tired of it. We'll have to wait and see what the next film brings.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the only fucking podcast in the world where we can loop around from news to the box office and it all comes full circle because we did the whole Ghostbusters story. So, bada boom. So, Spy right now it's got 113 worldwide. Yeah, like I said, that's still $100 million less. And that's another question I want to ask you. Do you think the summer is too competitive for it to even carry on.
Well, I mean, every summer they get more and more movies. I mean, everybody can't be a winner. You can't release a huge movie or 2 or 3 huge movies every week. I mean, there's just not.
It's impossible.
The pie is not that big, so someone's going to lose out. Yeah.
Unfortunately, and Spy's making money. It's just it's not making as much as the other two that she was in. So number 1, Jurassic World. Cary, take your guess, and you can be within $5 million, and I'll count it correct.
Okay.
So what do you guess how much you made?
Since nothing else was out this week, I'm gonna guess 175 million.
Not even close. 204.
Well,
204 million. Let's put that in perspective. It is the second highest grossing movie on an opening weekend of all time. First one, Avengers 207. The third one, Avengers 2 with 191. This one's smack dab in the middle. That is impressive.
Yeah.
What the hell? You and I both agree that this movie was going to hit big, but we had no idea it was going to hit this big.
Yeah.
That is and I'm about to click on the worldwide numbers. That's its worldwide total right now for a 3-day weekend.
$511 million.
That's fucking insane. What? That
means we're going to be seeing dinosaurs in every movie.
Oh, I know, right? We're going to see dinosaurs and Chris Pratt and everything now. Okay, well, listen. Before I went to the movie this morning, I looked it up and I was shocked. I guess this is one of the only exceptions where you can make a sequel literally over a decade and it do booming business, probably better than the other 3. Like, what's going through your mind? Like, that's $500 million in 3 days.
Yeah, I know.
How does that work for this type of movie?
Yeah.
We did not expect it to get this big. I don't know, man. That's just... Like, I rarely ever get shocked. This is fucking shocking to me.
I mean, it's definitely going to be the movie of the summer. I can't see anything else that's going to top it at this point.
Probably not, because, I
mean, I don't think Terminator is going to have quite those numbers.
No, no, it will not. Right now, Avengers is the top one with 1.3 billion. That's a shit ton. Mad Max is doing pretty well for what it is. It's actually made 22 million profit, so that's good. But yeah, right now Avengers is the first one, and wow, like it's already made almost half what Avengers has made in his run right now. Be shocked, ladies and gentlemen, because you should be. And just to let you guys know, Me, Earl, and Dying Girl, it opened up. Okay, so it was a limited release. Right. I wasn't really sure about that. So it opened up wide next week?
It opens. I know it opens in here in North Texas on the 19th. Yes.
It's not out now?
In here? No, it's not out now.
Huh. Once again, you guys realize I do so much research on the show. But Me, Earl, and Dying Girl were limited release, 210,000 for 15 theaters. I mean, would you say that's kind of a nice success start?
Yeah, that's like 14,000 per screen. That's good.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Because you and I both agree, like, it was a great movie.
No. We talked about this.
I know we did, but I told you, like, this was my favorite movie of the year so far.
Right.
And you're just okay with it.
Yeah, I'm just okay with it.
This upsets me. I am so angry at it right now. No, like, it's a really great movie, guys. Even if Cary didn't like it as much as I did, you still enjoyed it and you would recommend it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so please go see that one whenever it comes out, because it's fucking amazing. So, yeah, that's about it, guys. I guess since we talked about Tomorrowland bombing, let's see where it's at right now. It made $3.4 million this weekend. Fucking awful. Its budget, we were right. We said 180. It's 190. So it needs to make 380 to break even. Worldwide, it's at 177. It needs 200 more million just to break even.
I'm surprised it's made that much.
I know, right? What the... Brad Bird, you have fallen from grace, my friend. So that will do it, guys, for this week's episode of Real Me and Colin, the Movie Podcast. I want to thank Cary for coming on. Did you have fun? Did you cry? Did you cry a lot?
I didn't cry, but I did have fun.
Would you want to come back?
Sure. Why not?
He said, sure, why not, as if it's never going to happen. Listen, guys, he's a busy dude. I'm not going to just bother him on every single movie. Because, listen, there's some movies some people don't want to talk about. Jurassic World is kind of a generational thing. Because even with people my age, his age, Jurassic Park is a beloved franchise.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the reasons why I wanted him on here. Because we have different perspectives on the franchise. So, where can the people find you online?
DFW.com. And just look for my name.
You want to plug your Twitter handle?
Oh, yeah. Carydar. Carydar.
Okay. And I actually have the DFW link and his Twitter link in the description below. You guys, if you guys love this podcast, you can follow me on Spreaker here. Click that follow button. I'm also on iHeartRadio. So, Cary, did you know that?
I did not know that.
I'm actually kind of popular.
Right.
No, I'm not. They made a horrible decision. Mm-hmm. No, I'm on iHeartRadio. I'm also on SoundCloud now. I finally updated SoundCloud.
You're a veritable Clear Channel.
What's that?
Clear Channel. They own a bunch of radio stations. And iHeartRadio.
Well, shit, man, you got the connections, not me. I don't know where the fuck I'm at. Help me out. Help a brother out. No, I'm on Twitter. You can follow me at RealChaseLee. If you guys like this episode, tweet at Cary. Go follow him. He's a cool reviewer and stuff. And tweet at us. Did you like the episode? Did you like him? Did you like him better than me? Because most of the time, people like my guests better than me. So, tell us what you thought about Jurassic World and all the news and the trailers and stuff. We would love to hear from you because it's not about what we have to think. It's about what you have to think. So if you want to like my Facebook page to get updates when I do these things live, post them, movie reviews, whatever, it's facebook.com/realreviewswithchaselee. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube page for short films, movie reviews, podcasts, I have a lot of shit on there that will keep you occupied while you're taking your dump in your bathroom. It is youtube.com/Shabutnik75. You can also find me on We Live Film YouTube channel, and you can also find my written reviews at DallasMovieScreenings.com, and all my links are in the description below. So, Cary, I want to thank you again for coming on. Next week, for episode 83, Inside Out, ladies and gentlemen. You knew I was going to go there. I cannot wait to see it. Cary, when do you see that movie?
On Monday, tomorrow.
I hate you. So I'll probably see it Friday or Saturday. I'll have it for the main topic for next week's show, and of course, news trailers. You guys know the whole fucking drill. So that will do it for this week's episode of Real Me and Colin, a movie podcast. I'm Chase Lee.
I'm Cary Darling.
I will see you guys next week for another crazy fucking episode. Go spread this episode around. Tell your friends about it. Spread it around like a great disease. Actually, don't do that. Your parents will kill me. So I'll see you guys next week. Have a good day, good night, whenever the hell you're listening to this. Goodbye, everyone.